Good morning, Dennis Praet.
Hello, Kurt.
There he is, Hayabusa as the new team captain, and it is Tuesday morning. You are at home, I guess, and we are here at the USPA Nationals. Have you been following the competition so far?
I have.
And how's your connection there? Just got a,
My connection isn't great, it seems.
yeah, but it seems to work at least. I got a message that it's unstable. I'm uh I'm in the way here.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, anyway, so sorry that we only connect now with the eight-way competition, but at least we can see a little bit of it.
of
Um,
course.
Gary was, I think he came in on at the end of the four-way competition,
Yeah, 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 I saw that.
when it was all over. So I'm sure you have followed the four-way competition just as much as Gary has.
I did.
What what did you see?
Well, I think we saw in general, I think we saw the three teams that we were actually kind of looking at, obviously France, Airspeed and the Golden Knights. Um, I think France is where they were supposed to be, at the top. If you look at the open leaderboard, Airspeed is also where you would think they would be, although they surprised us a little bit in round one,
Yes, I did.
with the scores. And Golden Knights, they were surprisingly good, I have to say. Yeah, I was very surprised, with their performance and some of the jumps they showed. They looked really strong.
Very impressive. Yeah, you know that's it. Go. Thank you, Dennis.
No, no, no. That's a general. If I if you want to look at it team by team, I would have to go in the same opinion as Gary. I think, yeah, airspeed isn't where they want to be at the moment, but at the same at the same time, it's a bit normal.
Yeah, how could they? I mean, you know,
It's a big, yeah, of course. And so they shouldn't feel down about it. I've been there, and I might still be there in that position of not being, at the top anymore. But it's hard work, and it's hard work when you've been there at the top and having to redo it all over again. And it requires a lot of motivation, a lot of work, and it's normal. So I'm not shocked in a way. It's normal. It will come together. They will work hard. I have no doubt. So it's just as Gary said. It's just not. This is not their meat, and
yeah,
that's normal.
and it would
Uh,
have been a little miracle, you know, with the Golden Knights in their
exactly.
third
Yeah.
year, and Nicholas coaching
Hmm.
them, and then
Yeah.
yes, in the first year with the new lineup.
Yeah.
It would have been a miracle, kind
It
of.
would have been. The little miracle, I would say, is how close the Golden Knights are to the French.
Yeah, have you
And
heard anything from the French side yet?
no, no, I haven't.
So I
And
would like to pick your brain, Dennis. Sorry to interrupt, but that's a very interesting topic actually that we can discuss here. Um, they the French guys, they told several times, you know, when I spoke with them, we crossed each other's path here, um, they treated their staying here as really as a training camp. Even on the day before the competition on Saturday, you know, it was a full training day for them.
mhm.
So they said this is not, you know, competition. Yes, it's great. We're here. We want to, you know, take the competition experience, but it's a training camp for us. So what do you think? What kind of a how big does it make of a difference if you are treating, you know, competition like this, a very relevant competition, more or less just like another training day? Does that change?
Well, I What does it change is you're not 100% prepared. You might be still be working on some blocks and you haven't defined like the small details, and you just take a draw like in training. You just go with what you have, although you maybe in your plan have something like, okay, we need to refine this more and all that, so you're not at your peak, let's say. But at the same time, I was a bit and I was very surprised with the performance of the Golden Knights, that for sure. But they worked towards this meet, and for the French to say that they take this as a training, yes. But if you do, if you if you look at it, how long they are already together, and they're talking big, they're talking winning, they're talking, and they are the favorites. Um, but if you're together now for what? They're together for 4 years now?
I think 3 as the Golden Knights, but I'm not quite sure.
No, 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 no. I'm talking the French. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, like I think they are in their at the end of
Because
their third year, like the Golden Knights. I think.
yeah, because the world meet they did in Eloy in 2022
Mm-hmm.
was
22, 23, 24, end of their fourth year. You're right. And it's a
yeah,
fourth.
yeah, yeah. So they're a long time together. So mm, in my opinion, if you want to be top of the world and you look back in history and all that, you should set, if you do a meet, you should set, in my opinion, consistent 26s at least, average. So I think they're happy, of course, to win. They are the favorites, and that's where they need to be. But they might be a little bit surprised with how close the Knights have become. Are they complacent? I don't think so. Not at all. But I do think they need to work, or they might have a battle on their hands
But they
next
know
year at
that
the
they
World
say
Meet.
at least they know that. So let me go a little bit more into the detail of my question. Let's say it this way. How how does Hayabusa prepare for a competition? Let's say you're at a training camp, a few days before a competition, and then you're going into the last 2 or 3 days of the competition. What do you do?
Well, first of all, your main skill set or techniques or continuity plan, all that has to be decided. How
Yeah.
many L's do we have? What do we have, two threes? All that stuff has to be decided. Then you have to have your speed phases. So like a camp before or two camps before, you can still do your 12 jumps a day, but the closer you get, the more you put the pieces of the puzzle together, and it becomes intense. 35 seconds, and you almost want to treat every jump where you have to get into that rhythm and feel comfortable in that rhythm. But you can't do that for 12 jumps or 10
So
jumps a day.
when is the last, what would be the last, let's say competition begins on Sunday, what would be your last training day?
Ideally, I would say a day before round one you have a day off,
Okay.
and the last day you do maybe 4 jumps max.
Okay, so that was significantly different, the French
Yeah.
team, because they didn't treat it like this. So when
No, no, they didn't. But then at the same time, if you do, I would expect them, even if they do draws in a training camp, with the amount of time they're together, the amount of the potential that they've shown to be able to do consistent 26s
Mhm.
average.
Yeah.
That's what I would think. That's what I lived with Hayabusa in the past, also being together for that long and being favorites. And that's what I'm sure Airspeed had when they were at the top.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, if you
uh,
compare it directly, let's say you're looking at the results at the World Cup, and then the results here in Norway at the Nationals, USPA Nationals. The Golden Knights if you take the averages, the numbers, if you just look
Okay.
at the
Yeah.
numbers, if you take the averages, Golden Knights are exactly on the same level.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the French are basically one average point below
Yeah.
their performance in Teurer. Um, what does that tell? I mean, it tells one thing for sure. The French did not show their best here. That's a
For
you know
sure.
that's pretty obvious. And my
Yeah.
question is more or less like, is that based on or is that caused by the, let's say, casual approach to the competition, or how would you explain that?
It can be, but I don't, as a competitor, and I'm talking for myself, it's hard to approach a meet casual, even if you do 10 jumps before the day before. When you're in it and you're going for round one, it's hard to do to go in it casual. You'd always go for it 100%.
Yeah,
Yes, they might be a bit fatigued from doing a full,
yeah.
training camp. Um,
And they have been training hard. I mean, it was 10 plus every day, in the year.
yeah, yeah,
Quite.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, a bit of fatigue, but nobody wants to do a meet and show less than what you're able to. Nobody, not a single team wants that. If um, we were disappointed as Hayabusa with our last day in Turkey because it is where we are now, inconsistent, as we said in the last NSL talk. Um, but it's not a day where we were casual or we didn't want to show our true potential. And then I don't believe as a competitor also for the French that they don't want to show their full potential.
Yeah. No,
I,
yeah.
I, I don't see how you can stand in the door and say like, okay, guys, let's treat this one, 80% so we don't show off too much. And I don't believe that because then it's not even a test for you. Then they're there for then it's not a test.
Vacation.
Yeah,
Arizona, it's a beautiful, beautiful weather here now. And
yeah, yeah.
couldn't be
That's
any
true.
better. I mean, they had a great training camp, no doubt about this. So then, wh- is it so we can just say that you would say that the Golden Knights just had an incredible performance
I
here.
think so. Yeah,
The French team is kind of was like an average performance or whatever, and nothing extraordinary. And the airspeed wasn't ready, couldn't be ready,
couldn't be. I think the positions were as expected. The averages and the performances were, for me, France was medium for them, what you would expect from them at this point. I found it average. Not saying that I don't respect their jumps and what they show. Obviously, they're the favorites, and
Yeah,
I don't
they're number
wanna
one still, no
put
doubt
that
about that.
down. Golden Knights were incredible. I think well deserved of the national title. They've shown that they're the best team in the US now and convincingly. And Airspeed, I mean, you can't talk bad about them. It's just where they are at now, and
Yeah, no,
they
there's nothing bad to talk about, that's for sure. They just couldn't. I mean, it would have
no,
been a miracle, as we said earlier.
no. And and I hope for them this is they can take it as a motivation now to work
Yeah.
hard and to become and to go back to the US Nationals and become the national US team because then it creates together with Golden Knights a fight, and you've talked about having a fight on the international scale then with hopefully three teams in the future.
Wouldn't that
So
be nice?
that would be nice. That would be nice if we can fight for first. If it
Well,
goes
we
back
may
and
get
forth
it.
for first, yeah.
Yeah, we may get it. We don't have a Qatar team anymore, so it could have made it for, but that's over. So
Mhm.
let's go to another topic here now. I mean, first of all, you see that eight-way here is happening. Did you follow the eight-way a little bit, kind of? Because it could become
I did not, unfortunately.
okay,
Sorry.
because it could become interesting in eight-way here too. XP8,
Uh-huh.
the they will compete with a new lineup. They are
Okay.
competing with a new lineup. I think they're just taking off now.
Okay.
And then there's a pickup team with all Golden Knights and Airspeed, three of Airspeed, not with
Okay.
Chris, and then Michelle Caramon filling in for Chris.
So a pickup team could become US national team.
Well, if they manage I mean, the XP8 lineup is well trained. They did over 500 jumps this year and so forth. So they
Yeah,
are
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah, yeah.
great talent, but it's one
Yes,
trained team, with a lot of talent against
a
world
pickup.
champions. Yeah,
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 yeah.
world champion team. So I
Hmm.
find that very interesting. So we may see
Yeah,
some.
me too. Because I might have a harsh opinion on pickup teams if they would win titles,
Oh,
let's say.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that is not, and it's, it's good that they're teams, but then sometimes I doubt then how you put the sport in perspective. You have
Totally.
especially in the tunnel. Eight-way I cannot say, but in the tunnel, where let's say now you will have an airspeed that has to train hard and they're professional to get to a level. Hayabusa, we train hard to get to a certain level, and you might have back in the day as in Bedford, like Team XL, where they just, oh, let's fly 4 hours together. We're four champions, good flyers, and they're beating the professional teams, and they run away with a title. Then that it sometimes is very odd to me,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Well, outdoors, it's, in the tunnel, there's probably a better chance to do something like this in the outdoor
yes.
scenario.
So
It's much,
yeah,
we'll see. I mean, it would be also a little miracle if the team with 500 trenches could not, would not win.
that
So
yes,
we'll
it
see,
would
but
be
it's interesting.
it would be sad. It would also be a bit disheartening for them, maybe,
Yeah, and
and
it's
because that is
you kind of have
painful.
you have to kind
Yeah,
of hope, that they will
of
make
course,
it
of course.
eventually.
I don't wish it. I mean, the best team win. I always say. Um, but I'm guessing it would suck if you spent 500 training jumps a year
Yeah.
and then another guy, oh, let's do a pickup team, and then you get beat by those guys, and you're like, God damn it.
Well, what about looking at it as like a second chance for ESP to go to the World Championship?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
They did
true.
good win the VMA, now they could go in 8-way. They win the
Yeah, yeah,
competition.
yeah, very true, very true.
So
Yeah.
I wonder what they would do if they would say, no, no, we're just here for pickup fun and we expiate as well. We'll see. We'll see more
Yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah. Because then, if you're a pickup team and you win national title, what do you do for your? Are you then going to your official international World Cup or World Meet?
Yeah, yeah, and the Golden Knights would have double duties,
Yeah,
and they want
I'm
to
not sure they.
win,
I'm not
so
sure they would take that double duty.
no, they probably wouldn't. But that's our speculation.
Of
Again,
course.
we'll know more tomorrow after round 10 in that way. Um, all right. Well, now another topic, Dennis, the Golden Knights. It seems like the Golden Knights are not going to the system, right? You've probably heard about this
Oh
already.
yes, the topic. Well, for now it doesn't. I cannot speak for them, but for now it doesn't seem like it. Yeah, I hope it turns around, but
Yeah, that is, now it's all politics, Is the government
of course,
shutdown going to be over in time so the Golden Knights can go to the season? But
yeah.
if not, and it doesn't look like there's any resolution, close, um, you have a walk in the park there. No Golden Knights, no
Yeah,
Tigers.
yeah. I
Um,
mean,
is
in
there
one
any
hand, you would then say we're lucky and it's good for us because then we're more sure of a gold medal to show to our employer,
right?
Belgian army. But for the sport, no, it's not good.
Yeah. So that would be good
So
for you,
we
so which is
we
kind of important. You have said that so many times. You have to win the military world championship,
Yeah, well, we don't in our hearts. Yes, for the Belgian army, we have to win them, especially if we won them now consecutively. I don't know how many times.
18. I'm
Yeah, something
counting.
like that. But we need to be on the podium. That's our criteria.
Right, right. Yeah.
So we
So
need
you
to be
don't
on the
have to
podium.
win, but you have to get a medal.
No, we don't have to win. We want to win, obviously. But that's then you go back to the topic that we spoke about in the past already about winning and how you win. When you win and you have no opposition, it's okay, it's nice to win, obviously, and you deserve it then because you're the best in the world. But it's a lot nicer to win with a fight. and we've had many fights in the past. So those victories are more valuable
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
you're being pushed and you really push the sport as well.
Yeah, but it's kind of sad, because we're looking forward. We were hoping, looking forward, getting excited about a competition between the Qatar Tigers, Golden Knights, and Hayabusa, in the
Yes.
citizen competition.
Yeah.
So, and now
But
none of
now
that.
and now as well, like we've spent a 2 week or a small 2 week training camp in just
Right,
in Florida. I'm just back, and we've trained only SISM, preparing ourselves for the
right.
fight.
Hmm.
And now you wouldn't have one, so
We could have
it should be sad.
we could have used the jumps for FAI training, rather than rhythm
If you
training.
would have known, yeah, because that's what we said in the NSL talk. We now situation is different than in the past. We are obliged to train specific SISM because we have a big contender, and that's Golden Knights. And if they're not coming now, and we've trained, we prepared now for SISM, in our opinion, pretty well. We're pretty prepared, and they're not there, then yeah, if we would have known, obviously, we might have changed our training plan a little bit, but it is what it is, and
It is
I
what it
still
is.
hope they can go. Honestly, I really do. Um,
Yeah, it's not over yet, so we still have 2 weeks, 3 weeks or something before.
yeah,
And
still
maybe, who
anything can
knows?
happen.
Could change. The government shutdowns usually they last only for a few days, and then
Yeah,
then they get together and say, "Hey, we can't do that," because
yeah,
everything,
yeah, yeah,
there are a lot of public services which are just not there any longer at the moment.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That lasts usually only a few days because they don't want to piss off the population in too much.
Hmm. Of course,
Now,
of
if you don't
course.
have the
Yeah.
public services and the public is suffering,
Hmm.
but this one that's different. It's already much longer than usually, and who
Yeah,
knows?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. Okay. I think the first 8-way videos will probably come pretty soon. They should be landing in not
Okay,
too
well,
long. So
excited to see.
yeah, maybe we should.
I'm recovering from jet lag, so
Okay. Well, maybe we're gonna talk again when this 8-way is over. Then
sure, maybe we can do a talk with Gary,
yeah,
with the
bring
three of
Schmitty in. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that would be really fun. You can. It was really fun yesterday because when we're in the middle of the 4-way competition, so
Yes.
all the people stopped by and said,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I saw it.
yeah. Okay, Dennis, thank you very much, and we'll see if we can make that happen again
Of course.
tomorrow.
Yes, sure.
Coach's Corner remotely, for now.
Remotely. Perfect.
Okay, thank you very much. Talk to you soon.
Enjoy the Arizona sun.
Thanks. Have a great day, Dennis.
Bye.
Bye.